Hi, I'm Liam. Today I'm going to tell you my story. But before I continue, please like, share, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. So there we were, pulling into Aspen Pine Resort, a place I'd been dreaming about visiting for 3 years. My wife Emma and I had saved up for this trip, and I'd spent months planning every detail. Emma looked at me with those bright eyes I fell in love with and squeezed my hand. I can't believe we're finally here, babe. This place looks even more amazing than the pictures. I know, right? Dave really hooked us up with this discount. Still not cheap, but at least we're not paying full price, I said, thinking about my college buddy who managed the resort. Emma leaned back in her seat. We deserve this. Work has been killing both of us. You can say that again. 6 months without a vacation is too long, I replied, pulling into our designated parking spot. Dave said he'd meet us in the lobby. He's excited to catch up. We unloaded our SUV, the crisp mountain air filling our lungs. The resort was gorgeous, all timber and stone with a massive fireplace visible through the lobby windows. Inside, my old friend Dave was waiting, his familiar grin lighting up his face. Liam, Emma, welcome to Aspen Pine. Dave gave me a bear hug before turning to Emma. The slopes are perfect right now. You guys picked the best week to come. Dave, this place is incredible, Emma said, looking around the rustic chic lobby. Thanks again for the friends and family discount. Hey, what are friends for? Besides, you're doing me a favor testing out our new premium cabin. I want honest feedback, Dave replied, handing us our keys. It's our newest accommodation hot tub on the deck, views of the mountain, the works. We'll definitely put it through its paces, I promised. Dave's wife, Melissa, appeared, offering us welcome drinks. You must be Liam and Emma. Dave talks about you guys all the time. How was the drive up? Not too bad, I said. Traffic was light, surprisingly. Well, you're here now and you're going to love it, Melissa assured us. We've arranged for private ski lessons tomorrow if you want them. First time on the slopes, right, Emma? Is it that obvious? Emma laughed. I'm a little nervous but excited. You'll be a pro by the end of the week, Dave said confidently. Now let's get you two settled in. I'll give you the tour of your cabin. Our cabin exceeded every expectation. Spacious, luxurious, with floor-to-ceiling windows showcasing the mountain views. We spent our first day exploring the resort, enjoying an amazing dinner, and planning our week ahead. The next morning, we hit the slopes. Emma was a natural, picking up skiing faster than I'd expected. By afternoon, we were laughing and racing down the beginner trails together. This is amazing, Emma shouted as we took a break at the lodge. Why didn't we start skiing years ago? Better late than never, I replied, clinking my hot chocolate against hers. This is just day one. We've got 6 more days of this. We returned to our cabin exhausted, but happy. After a soak in the hot tub, we were just settling in front of the fireplace when Emma's phone rang. Her expression changed immediately when she saw the caller ID. It's my dad, she said, her smile fading. I nodded, knowing her complicated relationship with her parents. Emma stepped outside to take the call, and when she returned, her face had gone pale. What is it? I asked, already dreading the answer. They're here, she whispered. My parents are here at the resort right now. What? How? Why? I stammered, standing up. Dad said they decided to surprise us and join our vacation. They're at the front desk trying to check in, Emma explained, her hands trembling slightly. Join us? Emma, we specifically planned this trip to be just us. Your parents weren't invited, I said, trying to keep my tone measured. I know. Dad said they saw my post about the resort on Instagram and thought it would be fun to make it a family trip. They drove 6 hours to get here. And they didn't think to call first, to ask if we'd be okay with it? I was pacing now, my relaxation completely evaporated. You know how they are, Emma sighed. They just do what they want. The doorbell rang. Emma and I exchanged glances. When I opened the door, there they stood. Richard and Vivian Anderson, my in-laws, with luggage in hand. Surprise, Richard boomed, pushing past me into the cabin. Wow, this place is fancy. You kids sure know how to live it up. Hello, Liam, Vivian said coolly, following her husband. Emma, darling, come give your mother a hug. Emma awkwardly embraced her mother while I stood there speechless. Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, I finally managed. This is unexpected. Best kind of surprise, isn't it? Richard laughed, already making himself comfortable on our couch. When Emma posted those pictures, I told Viv, we should join them. It'll be a blast. So here we are. Dad, we didn't know you were coming, Emma said carefully. This cabin only has one bedroom. Oh, that's no problem, Vivian waved dismissively. Your father and I can take the bedroom, and you two can use the pull-out sofa. You're young, you can handle it. I exchanged incredulous looks with Emma. Actually, I said, we booked and paid for this cabin specifically for us. Well, we're family, Richard said, as if that explained everything. Now, about those lift tickets, do we get the same discount you got? Your friend owns this place, right? I'm sure he can hook us up. Richard, Vivian scolded playfully, don't be so forward. But yes, Liam, if you could arrange that, it would be appreciated. These resorts charge an arm and a leg these days. Emma stepped in, sensing my rising frustration. Mom, Dad, we didn't plan for this. The discount was a personal favor to Liam from his college friend. And your friend wouldn't extend that to your family? Richard looked at me challengingly. What kind of friend is that? One who runs a business, I replied flatly. Look, I don't mean to be rude, but you can't stay here. This cabin is for 2 people. Nonsense, Richard boomed. Family sticks together. We'll make it work. Now, where can we put our bags? While Emma tried reasoning with her parents, I stepped outside and called Dave. I explained the situation, embarrassed to even have to make the call. Liam, don't worry about it, Dave assured me. I've seen this kind of thing before. I can offer them a room at standard rates, but I can't extend the friends and family discount. That's just for you guys. I understand completely, I said, and I'm really sorry about this. Not your fault, man. Want me to come over there? No, I'll handle it, I said, though I wasn't sure how. When I returned inside, Richard was already in our kitchen, helping himself to the complimentary wine. Good stuff, he said, raising his glass to me. So, what's the deal with the lift tickets? Did you talk to your friend? I took a deep breath. Mr. Anderson, Dave has a room available for you and Mrs. Anderson at the regular rate. The friends and family discount was specifically for Emma and me. Regular rate? Richard scoffed. Do you know what they're charging? Highway robbery? Dad, Emma interjected, we didn't invite you. We planned this trip for months. It's our vacation. Well, excuse us for wanting to spend time with our daughter, Vivian said, eyes welling with practiced tears. I suppose family means nothing these days. It's not about that, Emma tried explaining. Sure sounds like it, Richard muttered. I thought your friend would be more accommodating, Liam. After all, it's not like the rooms are all booked. What's the big deal? That was the moment, the exact moment in this story where everything changed. I looked at Richard, then at Vivian, then at my wife's stressed face, and something in me just snapped. The big deal, I said calmly, is that you've shown up uninvited, expecting to take over our vacation, our cabin, even our bed. And now you want discounts on top of that. Liam, Emma started. No, Emma. This has gone on long enough, I said firmly. Your parents have been pulling this kind of stunt for years. Remember our honeymoon? The surprise visit on Christmas Eve, when we had plans with my family? The emergency that wasn't an emergency during your job interview? Richard puffed up indignantly. Now listen here. No, you listen, I interrupted. I'm packing our things, and we're leaving. Leaving? Emma and her parents said almost in unison. Yes, I'm not spending my hard-earned vacation catering to your entitlement. Not again, I said, heading toward the bedroom. You can't be serious, Vivian gasped. Emma, talk to your husband. Emma followed me to the bedroom, closing the door behind us. Liam, are you really planning to leave? She whispered. I am, but I'm not asking you to choose between me and your parents, I said, pulling out our suitcases. I love you, Emma, but I can't do this anymore. Your parents show up, demand things, guilt you, and somehow we always end up giving in. Not this time. So what are you saying? Emma asked, tears forming in her eyes. I'm saying I'm going to another resort. You can come with me or you can stay with your parents. It's your choice, but I need you to make it now. Emma was silent for a long moment. Then she reached for her suitcase. I'm with you, she said quietly. We packed quickly, ignoring the protests from the other room. When we emerged with our luggage, Richard and Vivian stared at us in shock. You're actually leaving? Richard asked incredulously. Because we wanted to join your vacation? We're leaving, I confirmed, because you showed up uninvited, expected us to give up our bed, and demanded discounts without a second thought about what we wanted. But where will you go? Vivian asked. That's not your concern, I replied. Emma, you're choosing him over your own parents? Richard's voice rose. Emma straightened her shoulders. I'm choosing respect, Dad. Call us when you're ready to understand that. We left them standing in our cabin, mouths agape. At the front desk, I explained the situation to Dave, who was incredibly understanding. "I've got you covered," he said, typing at his computer. "There's a partner resort 20 minutes away. Same quality, maybe even nicer views. I'll make some calls and get you set up." "Dave, I can't thank you enough," I said sincerely. "Hey, family stuff is complicated," he shrugged. "But for what it's worth, I think you're doing the right thing." "What about my parents?" Emma asked hesitantly. "They can stay in the room I offered at regular rate, or they can leave," Dave said simply. "Their choice." An hour later, we were settling into our new accommodations at Cedar Ridge Resort, which was, as Dave had promised, absolutely beautiful. Emma was quiet as we unpacked. "Are you okay?" I asked her. "I think so," she said slowly. "I've never stood up to them like that before." "You were amazing," I told her, pulling her into a hug. "I feel guilty," she admitted. "But also relieved? Is that weird?" "Not at all," I assured her. "We needed this boundary a long time ago." The next morning, Emma's phone was flooded with text messages and voicemails from her parents. They ranged from angry to hurt to manipulative. She turned off her phone and we hit the slopes, determined to salvage our vacation. That afternoon, Melissa called me. "You won't believe this," she said. "Your in-laws tried to charge their stay to your account." "They what?" I nearly dropped my phone. "Dave caught it immediately," Melissa assured me. "But then they made a huge scene in the lobby, demanding the friends and family discount because they're practically Dave's friends too, since you're friends." "I am so sorry," I groaned. "Don't be. Dave handled it beautifully. Told them they either pay the full rate or leave. They left, but not before your father-in-law threatened to leave a bunch of bad reviews." "Great," I sighed. "Don't worry about it. Dave's documenting everything, but that's not all. They tried to go skiing this morning, using your names at the lift." "Are you serious?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Dead serious. Claimed they were Liam and Emma, and that they'd lost their lift passes. Luckily, the staff had been alerted and asked for ID. When I told Emma, she was mortified but not surprised. They've always been like this," she admitted. "I just never let myself see how bad it was." Over the next few days, we enjoyed our ski vacation in peace. Emma began opening up about her childhood, about how her parents had always pushed boundaries, expected special treatment, and used emotional manipulation to get their way. "They once showed up at my college dorm unannounced for Parents' Weekend, a week early, and expected to stay in my single occupancy room," she recalled. "When there wasn't space, they guilted my roommate into staying with her boyfriend so they could use her bed." "That's not normal," I said gently. "I know that now," Emma sighed. "I just wish I'd realized sooner." On our last day, we returned to Aspen Pine to thank Dave and Melissa properly. They insisted on treating us to dinner. "By the way," Dave mentioned casually, "your in-laws tried to dispute their credit card charge for the one night they stayed." "You've got to be kidding me," I groaned. "Nope. But I've got documentation, photos, signatures. They won't win that fight. And here's the kicker. They left such nasty reviews that they actually got banned from our resort group's booking system." "Banned?" Emma's eyes widened. "Yep, all 15 resorts in our network." The reviews were so obviously false and vindictive that our legal team got involved. They tried claiming they were given dirty rooms, rotten food, all sorts of nonsense. But they never even ate at our restaurants or stayed in the rooms they complained about. Melissa added, "The system flags reviewers who make demonstrably false claims. Your in-laws hit every red flag." After returning home, Emma received an email from her mother. Apparently, Richard and Vivian had also tried to book a summer vacation at another resort in Dave's network, only to discover they were blacklisted. The email was full of blame and accusations, claiming we had ruined their reputation. "They ruined their own reputation," Emma said firmly, deleting the email. Over the next few months, the consequences of their actions continued to unfold. Richard and Vivian found themselves unwelcome at several high-end resorts and hotels. Word had spread through the industry about their behavior. Their social media complaints backfired when people recognized them as the entitled couple from viral staff stories about nightmare guests. Emma's relationship with her parents changed fundamentally. She set clear boundaries, enforced them consistently, and for the first time in her life, felt free from their manipulation. As for me, I was proud of my wife and relieved that we had finally addressed the elephant in the room that had been creating tension in our marriage for years. The following winter, we returned to Aspen Pine Resort, just the two of us. Dave and Melissa welcomed us like heroes, and we had the peaceful, romantic getaway we'd wanted all along. Sometimes standing your ground means walking away, and sometimes walking away is the best thing you can do for yourself and the people you truly care about. So after hearing my story, what do you think is more important? Maintaining peace at all costs, or setting firm boundaries with family members who consistently disrespect you?